Bodies, 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 which is a black horror comedy from the A24 stable, directed by Helena Rain.
Does the A24 go to Dover?
It does go to Dover,
Excellent.
yeah. Simon Poole. Making her English language feature debut as director. Written by Sarah Delap, who wrote the play The Wolves, credited to a story from Kristen Rapinion, who wrote the original spec script that was then rewritten. So Amanda Stenberg is Sophie, a rich young woman who travels with her Eastern European lover B, Maria Bakalova, to a hurricane party. There's a hurricane coming in. They were going to a party while the hurricane happens at a mansion owned by her childhood friend David, played by Pete Davidson. As soon as she gets there, jagged edges of everyone's relationships emerge. There is petty fights, social one-upmanship, all fueled by alcohol, drugs, and spoiled narcissism. In particular, David is cross that podcaster Alice has turned up with her hot boyfriend Greg, who he doesn't think is hot. Here's a clip.
But he's like not hot. You know what I mean? He's like your mom would be like, oh, he's hot. Not your mom. I mean moms in general. Moms that have been married for like 10, 15 years and they see like him going out of a Starbucks.
Alice got to bring someone without telling anyone.
So you do read the chat.
Why is everyone so obsessed with the chat? Like, you're here, I'm here, we're here together, right? Why are we worrying about the chat when we could just live in the moment?
Yeah, it's because you went to rehab and you're not on drugs. So like everything's like, ooh, why don't we just all be cool, man?
And that's what they're all like. They suggest a murder in the dark style game called Bodies, 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 which we are told always ends in tears. And so why do it? Well, because they're those kind of people and very annoying kind of people. So it starts and it does end in tears. And the next thing is someone's throat gets slashed and game gets real. This is another example of a low-budget film that's doing very well. It's taken $10 million the last time I looked. It's drawn comparison with things like Jennifer's Body and Scream, postmodern satirical horrors. I thought it was actually really well done. The reason it works is there are a very, very irritating group of people who have all got these kind of, these interrelational, as I said, jagged edges, which are all kind of very, very spiky. And as everything starts to fall apart, their spikiness and their desire to just sort of rip into each other becomes more and more accentuated. But while that's happening, while the bodies start to pile up, I mean, funnily enough, in a way, you can see this as a whodunit, as a kind of companion piece to see how they run, because, there's a murder, an unlikable person gets killed at the very, very beginning, everyone else is holed up in a house, and then we have to decide which person was doing it. There's even a power cut. But what makes it work is that you believe that the monstrousness is the people's relationship. I mean, there is a particularly funny scene in which they all start having a huge verbal slanging match with each other over a dead body, over whether or not somebody's parents are indeed upper middle class. They're professors, yes, but they taught at a public. It's got a very sharp script. The performances are very well done. You do believe that these characters are as annoying as they appear to be. Makes very smart use of a confined location. Cinematography does that thing which is kind of, you're there and it kind of becomes weirdly urgent. So it's funny and it's dark and it's got a very it's got a kind of killer wit to it. And I, having begun it thinking these people are really, really, really annoying, the smart thing is that the film understands that that's the point and that's also the thing that's driving the plot. And I thought it was really good fun. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Oh, wow, you've made it to the end.
Congratulations.
Now you're here. You may want to hear about some of our other offerings.
Other offerings?
Yeah,
I know what.
The other offerings, the exclusive interviews we do on our hit subscription podcast, Kermode and Mayo's Extra Takes.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, that.
The one where we speak to the likes of Tom Hanks and Daisy Edgar-Jones, and the extra subscription content where Rowan Atkinson told us all about that famous rapping scene in Love Actually.
Yes, that's the one.
Amazing. And where would our lovely YouTube subscribers find this mystical creation?
Well, I'm glad you asked. They just need to go to kermodeandmayo.com or tap the link in the description.
That easy, eh?
That easy.
Incredible.